Namaskar, good evening, Salam Alaikum, Sat Sri Akal. Welcome to the Friday night 9-10 p.m. show only on YouTube. Brought to you by SEDS Global Branding Private Limited and Deep Flow Franchising. Produced by Brand Trigger and Explorer Freight in association with Capital One TV and Cloud Access. Ab Jeeto Bharat Ka Dil with the Great Indian Brand Show with Sudarshan R Chetlur. So there's a very, very interesting thing, which my teacher used to say. मैंने पहले पिछले एपिसोड में 1-2 एपिसोड पहले उनका नाम लिया था, M.R. Ranjan, my teacher, guide, spiritual guide, mentor and all. He used to say one thing. A dog basically in a yard, a colony mein and all that, goes and eats everywhere, right? But it doesn't belong anywhere. And it remains a dog at the end of the life. वो कहते थे, हाथी की तरह एक जगह रहो, एक ही खूंटे से बंधे रहो और हाथी बन के निकलो. I mean, that is such a profound learning, which means keep digging at one place. If nothing else, as another great mentor of mine, Mr. Rajesh Kapoor, he had written it to me just a few days before. If nothing else happens, people will come and ask how amazing you are at digging and how do you do that. And when I look at it, the most important thing that comes is, I will say indefatigable faith, invincible faith. Now I believe that, faith is a very relative term. Either it is there or not there. Ya to faith hai ya nahi hai. But still, that you keep doing the same thing every day, today, tomorrow, day after. How difficult it is to do that, आप कैसे कर सकते हो? 7 दिन हफ्ते आपके पता है यही होना है और आप चाहे कुछ हो रहा हो, दुनिया कुछ कह रही हो, आप यही कर रहे हो. And a living embodiment of that faith and making it work and inspiring 750 business owners coming from across Delhi NCR is Deepti Atul Goswami, the Executive Director of BNI Delhi Central. I have learned so much from her, and I'm really, it's like, at lots of us because she is the guest over here today. Thank you so much, ma'am, for being here. Because when I see you, every time, sir, uska kya hua? It is the same question. Ye kaise hua? Wo kaise hua? Who is it coming? Is it coming or not? And you do that with all the leadership teams. I mean, how it is impossible to be Deepti Atul Goswami. Let me put it that way. And thank you so much for being on the Great Indian Brand Show.
It's my privilege.
So, ma'am, the very first thing that I would like to ask is, there are many people who have these things, but where do you get the energy and how do you become a brand like that? Just I've been able to identify you in these ways that if somebody asks, I can say, there's somebody, if you want to know to get something done, this is the person you need to talk to. So, how does one get on that? What are the things that you follow and how did it come out to be?
That's a very interesting question. And I am a strong believer of how life shapes you. When I was young, I used to have a group of about 40 to 50 kids in my neighborhood.
Okay.
And at that point of time, it was not formal, but somehow I was a leader to them. So whatever would be told by me, they would usually follow. And there used to be my mother being working woman herself. She was in CBSE. Their mothers would come in the evening that, she's not talking to that our kid. Please tell her so that every other kid can talk. And I go back and think about that now. I think life was preparing me for that. Life was preparing me to work with people. And that was the beginning. Post that, I learned from my father. He was a perfectionist. He would drill things down in me that this is how it is to be done till the point it would happen. One of the sayings that he always mentioned, and it has stayed with me, now he's no longer there with us. There are a lot of slips between the cup and the lip.
Yeah.
So until something happens, you can't be sure. So keep at it. So that is something which I learned from him. And I got that from him. So post that, the way life took me, it brought me into a relationship where I had a life partner who was literally the wind beneath my wings. He never caged me in terms of do this or do that or don't do this or don't do that. He just let me be.
Yeah.
And it's the freedom that I got that made me the person I am today. That freedom really made me think the best person I could become, the best person I could be. And what I learned while working with people is that the best thing you can do while working with people is to get the best out of them. Sometimes a business owner, if I talk about BNI terms, can be his own worst enemy.
Yeah.
He may have tremendous potentials, but there are so many inhibitions in their minds, or possibly doubts that they have, possibly some kind of laziness that they may have, which is holding them back.
Yeah.
When they come in touch with us, I take it upon myself that it's my duty to shake them out of that slumber
Yeah, that
and
inertia.
make them and make them believe in what they can do and actually achieve it. That is the high I get every time a business owner cracks a large size deal. Believe you me, I don't know how happy he or she would be. I'm the happiest.
Absolutely. I've
Yes.
seen that many times reflecting on your face as well. You know, when
Yes.
we used to meet and we used to say, it's कोई business में है, ये तो बहुत अच्छा हुआ है, so you would put it that way. And it actually shows, you know, the kind of platform that you built. You know, BNI is definitely international and there are different regions, everything, but everything takes a lot of hard work to build. And, you know, जो आपने start किया when you said about your childhood and also, so there's a great learning over there that she realized when she grew up and all these things happened that maybe that was the preparation.
Yes.
So what does it mean? जो आपकी लाइफ में अगर कुछ नहीं हो रहा ना अच्छा, वो बहुत सही हो रहा है क्योंकि वो निकल रहा है आपकी लाइफ से, and that is teaching you that something else is going to happen which will be so damn amazing that you yourself will be totally amazed at what you've achieved, right? So जो भी आपकी लाइफ में हो रहा है ना, there is a purpose behind it. That's the entire thing.
True that.
Go for that purpose. Don't think much. Let things happen and let them, you know, unveil or unroll or, you know,
Give it your best.
give it your best. That's it.
Whatever life gives to you, do be the best version you can be.
So why and how BNI? How did that come across to be BNI Delhi Central?
It's a funny story. It's again when we went the entrepreneurial way. Myself personally, when I had my first issue, my daughter Aditi, and I decided, being a doting mom, that I can't be away the whole day, so I need to be around. So that was a time I decided that I have to go on my own, build something of my own, so I have the flexibility. You know, now that I come to think of it, I laugh. You know, as a business owner, I don't know how much flexibility we have, but yes, so is the perception as it is. So yes, so that's how I thought of coming into business. So I have built 3 brands from scratch myself, right from zero to successful businesses, 2 of them which I have sold. BNI happened to us when we were in the process of building a network of HNIs, which is, say, a millionaires club kind of a thing. And that's when we were invited to one of the meetings. The idea was, after having an exposure to that, why reinvent the wheel? It's a network which is already existing. It is successful. It's a proven
Absolutely.
system.
Yeah, wisdom says that.
It's a brand.
Wisdom is when you learn from other things and when you use what is actually there.
Absolutely.
Brilliant. Yeah.
It's a brand.
Yeah.
And you can't go wrong by going with an international brand. And that's what we did. We aligned ourselves with that. We learned from that. I learned from that how things are to be done as per this particular system. And there again, we were never members, both Atul and myself. Like most of the EDs around us, we had to learn everything from scratch, on the job.
Scratch. Yeah. I can imagine how tough it is, you know.
Yes, so there might have been situation when we did have a disconnect with the members because we've never been a member ourselves, but tried to bring things along, find common themes, find common ways, find things to engage people, make them motivated, inspired, and that's how it happened. So BNI came to us when we were trying to build that, and that was something we were trying to build, possibly locally or nationally. Fortunately, we found this brand which has given us a global family.
Yeah.
So that's who we are. That's the story behind us being a part of BNI. It's an integral part of our life now, and I can't imagine my life without it.
One meeting changed the entire life, and it simply thrusted you into a direction, and like a gush of wind, you have been flowing since then.
And I've been learning since. Every single day is a learning.
See, that's the greatness of a leader when a leader speaks, you know, because I think there is no end to learning. मैं हमेशा से बोलता हूँ, you know, there is no age to learning and there is no age to knowledge. मतलब ये हिंदी में अनुवाद इसका, सीखने की कोई उम्र नहीं, सिखाने वाले की भी कोई उम्र नहीं होती. You learn from children.
Yes.
Absolutely. You learn from quarters that you can't imagine. See, knowledge provider is a knowledge provider. A bank of knowledge. वो ज्ञान का सागर है, वो ज्ञान का सागर है. और हर एक के पास कुछ ना कुछ है देने के लिए, you know. You just see the good side of it. And this is one thing, like, you're so amazing to spot this. मैंने आपको 8 साल observe किया है. आपको पता है कि what is the best thing in that person. How do you make it out? What is it that, because see, this is like, taking the example of BNI, I think a lot of people who are into HR, recruiting and all, they can take that cue, like how you identify people, and you're able to allocate the right thing to them. Leadership team, हर 6 महीने 100 लोगों का बदलना, and driving those people, inspiring them. How does it happen? How sure are you? मतलब कि, how is it that you're so sure about these things?
So, in all fairness, I would not like to take the credit for all of that myself. It's teamwork, Sudarshan. Nothing great in this world was ever built by one person. It's your experience that teaches you, but it's also people coming forward. Many of them have those aspirations that they wish to be in that position where they wish to learn. This is a world-class system. They wish to learn from that. They want to practice it in reality. They want to see how they can run large-size teams so that they can translate it back into their business. So a lot of that comes from them nominating. And that is the prerequisite. If one has the willingness, the will is there, the skill can be then acquired.
Yeah.
So the willingness is the first thing. And despite that, there are situations when there are people who are shying off that.
Absolutely.
They may have that talent within them. So you do have to go and connect with them and tell them that connect with them in such a way which will appeal to them. So some people could be doing those roles because it's a personal thing. But some people, the ones we spot, are the ones who are doing it for others.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's a self-actualization.
I mean, those people cannot hide. वो सामने नजर आ ही जाता है, right?
Yes.
I remember my father was once telling me about a very great personality, and he was telling all his followers, you are not attractive. You're not attracting people. And that got me thinking. I was a kid. What does attraction mean? मतलब? So this is exactly what you're telling. Your energy, your zest and everything. आप जिस चीज को जिस तरह से करते हैं ना, it identifies with you, You reflect everything that is inside you that makes you. Believe me, people buy people first before they buy the products or services. I think I've repeated this, infinite times on the show as well. And that is a statement. आपने भी कितनी बार ये बोला, and we learned it from you, and we understand all these things. Now that we see how things happen. I think that is what you want to get at. कि आप जिस तरह से हैं, आप ऐसा attract करोगे, वो reflect करोगे, and people will identify.
Absolutely. So before I go and tell them to do something or not to do something, I make sure I'm doing it. Every time I go into a chapter which could be possibly going down and I want them to do XYZ thing, I go and do that first myself.
Yeah.
Because as leaders, the best way to lead is to lead by example.
Yeah.
Otherwise, your words are just hollow words.
Absolutely.
They lose meaning if you don't match them up with actions. Yeah.
I also say something about leaders in a very different way. मुझे पता है कि when people ask me what is leadership, I say that that we love cricket so much in this country. So based on that, मैं हमेशा बोलता हूँ. Suppose you're in a cricket team. I think the leader is the person who are the two opening batsmen, because they face all the bouncers and they take it upon their bodies and make sure that the team doesn't face that. They wear out the ball, they negotiate that ball, और वो आराम से उसको लेके patiently करते हैं, क्योंकि आपको पता है opening pair खलास तो team problem में. So you have very strong, opening pair. So when you're a leader of a company, leading a company, you need to look at things like that.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yes.
So
very well put.
This another thing that I would like to ask over here. There must have been so many challenges. Nothing comes easy. ठीक है, everybody's looking at Deepti Atul Goswami, the successful lady, and we also look at her in that light. And I'm sure viewers are also seeing that as you're speaking, and all the wisdom that you're bringing and the knowledge that you are bringing to the fore. But what were the challenges that you faced? Because the idea is there are so many people who want to get into certain things, And this is where I would like to talk about how do you see networking and what do you think is the right way? Because when you speak about networking, it is something that we all need to listen.
Thank you. What I have learned over a span of 15 years in my business is that a lot of time we try and see that we need to be casting a wider net. I think what works best, it's my opinion, in my opinion, we need deeper networks. You want relationships who are there for you come what may, in the middle of night, through thick and thin. So those are the kind of relationship you need to be investing in. Yes, of course, we are living in a global era. We need to have networks around. But end of the day, the relationships that will count are the ones you have nurtured over a long span and you have truly invested in them,
Hmm.
there can be negatives to networking also.
Absolutely.
There is a concept called too much networking also that ends up taking away a lot of productive time.
Yeah.
So one has to be careful as to how you are networking.
So where
What
do you
is-
draw a line in that? And literally, because see, if
Yeah.
a person is meeting 10 people, 15 people in a day, getting them together, constantly doing it, what would you say is too much networking, or where do you think somebody can draw the line before they enter or cross that thin border? Because ना जो करने वाले होते हैं उनको पता नहीं लगता. Like we are doing the show, हमने सोचा था हम 25-30 मिनट का एपिसोड बनाएंगे, and believe me, since morning we've been shooting, and some of the episodes have gone to 50 minutes, and we are enjoying the conversation, right? So how do you draw a line and understand that part?
Glad that you asked that question. Think about a situation you're going to a foreign country.
Yeah.
And you have a set amount of currency in your pocket.
Yeah.
You can only buy so much.
Yeah.
Right? The same applies in networking. You should be doing that much networking in which you can invest that kind of connections.
Wow. So amazing.
Beyond that, it's a wastage of time. Because in networking, you have to give first.
Yeah.
So as much as you have to give is I would draw the line there. Because that is how you would start a relationship.
मैं आपको बताता हूँ what she actually means over here. If I have got it right, please let me know, because try to simplify it for all the viewers, the business owners, those who want to get into networking. अगर आपके पास 100 रुपए पड़े ना जेब में, अगर आपके पास 100 rupees पड़े हैं जेब में, and you know that the best tea costs 5 rupees, then probably you need to spend 60 rupees only to network with 12 different people on 12 different occasions, or with one person 3 times, another person 3 times, until that 60, and not go beyond that, and choose wisely किन के साथ आपने बैठना है, क्योंकि पैसे आपके पास उतना ही है, बाकी तुम नेटवर्किंग के बाद ही बनेंगे. 40 रुपए जिंदा रहने के लिए भी चाहिए. You can't, empty the coffers. Am I right?
True that, yes.
So that is how basically, so invest your time, your effort, your money. And she said something amazing. You remember the very first episode we started, we talked about so many things, and in the second one we came up with, will, skill and drill. That's what she said. You must have the will, but you need to develop the skill, and BNI develops your skills. That is something that I've learned. We don't know everything in this world. There's a wonderful quote in Reader's Digest. I read it when I was a kid. So, what is the best thing you have ever heard? एक actress से पूछा था, Hollywood actress, and the exact words I remember, man. So, pardon my language. If I knew the answer to goddamn everything, then why the hell am I born? I forget who the actress was, but that was the thing. And I felt, yeah, this is where life's learnings come into play. Right? जिंदगी उस तरीके से सिखाती. So you remind me of that, because as and when you grow, you keep learning, and that's all things, it makes a difference and all. So how do you also, another thing, like, there are 750, business owners in BNI Delhi Central, slowly reaching to 800, and by year end, this is going to be 1,000 plus, region, doing, I think, 1,000 CR
Yes.
business in a year. That is what you're looking at.
That's what we are
That is the
hoping
target.
for. Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
I do not want to keep my fingers crossed. Just yesterday, I had a conversation with someone very amazing. He said, keep your fingers crossed. I said, no, if I'm crossing, I'm stopping. I'll keep it open and I'm ready to receive. So this is a new mantra from Sudarshan. Remember, ye meri khoj hai kal ki, not crossed, but open to receive. So, God willing, definitely that is going to happen. How do you handle the entire chaos? Business mein aane ka matlab, we all have very, very bad attitude, and we can't work with anyone else. And we can only work for ourselves. People must be driving you mad. How do you handle that? Even if you say कि कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता, I can't believe it कि वो रोज 10 साल से हो रहा है और फर्क नहीं पड़ रहा. कुछ तो कारण है उसके पीछे, something that you stick to.
Almost 11 years now.
Yeah.
Funny you should ask that, because there were times when I was actually asking myself the same. And that's when I learned from our mentor, Mr. Virendra Upadhyay, the founder of Lab India.
Yeah.
Because he's a part of many organizations. He's built large size teams. He's a guy who's multi-thousand crore turnover. And obviously, we also need mentors. He said, you have to approach every relationship with a lot of love. So it's the love of networking, it's the love of the system, it's the love of the people who have invested in us that keep me going. That if somebody is behaving in a certain manner, he's not understanding it yet. But if we approach the person with love, there will be a time that he would be able to feel that, experience that, and move in the right direction, get nudged in the right direction. Otherwise, the system is so beautiful, they
Love
anyway
makes
get
the world
ejected.
go round.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
So, in brand building, we always say it's not what you want to say. That is true. What you want to say, you should know. But how you say it. These are the 5 to 7 steps in brand building that I had made, out of which these are 1 or 2 steps, So it's exactly जो आप बता रहे हैं कि आप किसी चीज को कैसे approach करते हो. In life and in business, see, you're all brand owners, you're brand custodians, you're the very first ones. You've given birth to a brand, you're nurturing it. And there are people in your company, there are people, there are clients, there are your customers, and there's so many things happening around. How you approach, right? If I am understood it correctly, you need to have a lot of love in your heart for that.
True that, absolutely, because that is the only way you can reach out to them. A lot of time people have walls around them. And the only way to break them down is when you have your walls down and you reach them with the right intention, because that resonates. The words may not, the right policies or rules or regulations may not, but if they're able to see through that you mean well, you intend well, and you're saying it with all the love in your heart for their betterment, that ultimately hits
that resonates, that is where वो resonate होता है, and amplitude, it amplifies over there, the crest.
It changes everything.
They amplify, it changes the entire dimension. Sound is maximum, it gets heard. मतलब जो आप कहना चाहते हो वो अगले को पता लग जाता है, जो अगला कहना चाहता है आपको पता लग जाता है, and that is where bonds, they become unbreakable, right?
So a lot of time the conflicts are just ego tussles.
Yeah,
there
absolutely.
There is no meat to the conflict as such. It's just that we may have difference of opinion, maybe not so much. Maybe we're talking the same thing. It's just that it's being projected in a different way. But when you start approaching it in a way which the other person can feel you're trying to do it with the best intentions, and you're trying to do it for them, you're doing it out of all the love, it always puts the wall down.
Absolutely. So this is such an amazing thing to do. And agar main isko love is the essence of everything. That is what drives everything. If you want to say a one-liner, start practicing it this way. What would that be?
For me, if you're trying to really respect someone, you have to be honest with them.
Yeah.
And you tell them that I love you like my brother, or I love you like my sister, and I have the best
there,
intention.
You have the answer. Bolo.
Yeah.
Satya vachan. Vachan ko pravachan bana do. That is what happens, when you speak.
If they are open, they will understand. If they are, despite that, they are not willing to, that's okay.
Yeah.
Not every relationship is meant to be great.
Yeah, absolutely.
But at least you have that satisfaction that you tried your best.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes. Keep knocking on the door until it opens, or till you realize that it won't open. Simple. Go to the next door and then start working and digging over there. That's the entire idea, right?
The idea is also that success bhi sabki kismat mein nahi hota.
Yeah, absolutely.
Until one is conducive towards it, one is ready to take the chances or pay out the sacrifices it's supposed to. They are supposed to give, they won't achieve success.
So sacrifice is a very crucial term, It's easier said, and I see them how much time they sacrifice and what they're doing. मैं हमेशा से बोलता हूँ, भारत की जो नींव है ना, वो सेवा और बलिदान है. That's what it is all about. How much charity we do and the kind of sacrifice we make. That is what is the double helical DNA structure of our society since centuries. Yeah. So since you mentioned sacrifice, so there's something over here that I would like to, gift you from our team at T Gibbs over here, our gift sponsor, Grow Green Wonders. They have sponsored plants because I think nature has sacrificed a lot for our brand, right? And for what we do to make ourselves, the price is paid by nature. So this is a small token of regard from us to you, from the Great Indian Brand Show team.
Thank you.
Because
Thank you
this
so much.
is something like you nurture businesses, you nurture networking. It is something that we nurture for life. Plants. That is the thing.
I accept this with all humility, and I hope that as this plant grows, so does your brand. So does your show.
Thank you so much.
And keep
that was the
growing.
entire idea. So we thought that, these kind and it is so amazing. He's another chapter member. आप ही के BNI Delhi Central का है. They said, let's collaborate and do things. Yeah.
It's all we have built together.
Yeah, built together. Absolutely. Yes. So, on that note, again, I'll come back to another thing. Friends, please take this. Thank you so much, my studio friends. A rapid fire. Because there's a lot of serious talk happening. So, there should be something.
The fun element.
Fun में भी ना बहुत knowledge निकल कर आता है. Right? So, we have 10 questions. Okay. You can say within जो भी आपको 3 से 4 सेकंड में लगता है is the right answer.
Okay.
One word that defines entrepreneurship.
Junoon.
Junoon, ishq junoon. Madness
It
to
is
the
madness.
level of insanity.
Yeah.
Brilliant. The worst thing that a brand owner could ever do.
Not talk about it.
No. So, that's what, experience, when experience says, you should be on these kind of platforms like BNI and Delhi Central or Mirai chapter, join karna apne. Let me be very honest, Come and say every week 30 seconds what you are. The easiest way to make a brand sell.
Make others the custodian of it.
Kya baat hai? Your customers are your lifeline, the lifeblood, the artery, the blood that flows in the arteries of your brand, That's what she's selling. Yeah. Somebody else. Arey, aap bhi to responsible ho. That means collaboration. That means partnership. That means, sharing of profits. That means you help me, I help you. Right?
Absolutely.
एक चीज में कितनी सारी चीजें सिखा गई दीप्ति मैम हमको. Number 4, the greatest offer you could make to a customer.
That we are solving your problem. The biggest pain point that you have is solving that.
क्या बात है. Customer आपके पास आई किस लिए रहा है? Because आपके पास कोई solution है. And you're solving that. So simple, so profound. The best one-word compliment you could give to your team members, because I believe branding is inside out. Internal branding में, the impression that is your internal customer, वो खुश नहीं, तो बाकी दुनिया तो भूल ही जाओ. Yeah.
To my team members, the day you start finding faults in my work, you have learned well.
क्या बात है. Oh my God, this is next level.
This is your self-branding too, by the way. So
Wow, this is amazing. Make a note of that, people. Yeah. So number 6, the place where advertising agencies go wrong, or business owners go wrong because since you're on a networking platform and all.
if you're trying to sell what you have rather than provide a solution to what is needed, that is your biggest downfall.
So this reminds me of a one-liner. People hate what you sell. People love to buy what they like.
Yeah.
So remember what they like and try to do that. Number 7, the best compliment you would love to hear for your brand.
That it has helped change their life.
क्या बात है?
Made
Transformation.
it better.
Yeah, that is the reason why you made this entire platform, and that is why, and yeah, it is transforming my life as well as we speak at the moment. So number 8, the one thing you say to yourself when you wake up first thing in the morning.
I truly do that. I feel responsible for 750 businesses. So what can I do today that will add more value to my family members, my team members, my BNI family?
Absolutely. So if, it means that if you are a wholesale owner or a retail brand owner, all your customers, they are your family, you're responsible for them. Just think about it. Number 9, the last thing you say to yourself when you're going to sleep.
What can I do better tomorrow?
Wow, absolutely. Be the best version of yourself every moment. Keep learning from the past, right? And the final question, the greatest punchline you have ever come across or heard, or somebody who has said about your brand, or what you feel should be about your brand.
I think the greatest compliment is the fact that it gets copied a lot.
Oh wow!
Imitation is the best form of flattery. So when we hear of many small groups mushrooming, trying to do that, I really take that as a compliment. There must be something right we are doing that is inspiring others to try and emulate that.
Wonderful. That's so amazing. So, Dekha, copying is, and great saints have said, if you just try to imitate the life of a saint physically, you're half there. It is said. Yeah, this is actually saying in so many scriptures and holy books, it is written that way. So this is actually the same thing, copying and imitation. So that is the best compliment that you could get. Absolutely. And what is your personal success mantra for life? That one-liner that you say to yourself every day, or maybe when there's a challenge, or when you're too happy, or whatever is it.
The line that I go by, I live my life with is, if you ever fail, it should never be for lack of trying.
Wow, that is simply amazing. मतलब ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए कि आपने कोशिश ही नहीं करी.
Keep doing it until you succeed.
Keep doing it.
Yes.
Keep doing it. वो कभी ना कभी वो रास्ता मिलेगा. And on that note, I would like to gift you with a gift hamper from the team at another one, the Great Indian Brand Show की team से. This is a gift hamper for you, multi-grain atta by Arogya.
Wow.
Gluten-free. They're into gluten-free food, and they've given some dry fruits which are gluten-free as well.
Okay.
They're called no nonsense nuts. My God, that's amazing. And then this is Dr. Meenu's. You know Dr. Meenu's very well, a cosmetic brand. She's been going places, and her life has transformed in BNI. And this is also another BNI member. He's going places, and you have the plants already. And the basket has been designed by Sneha Verma.
Wow.
So she designed the entire packaging. Thank you so much for being on the show with us.
It's a
So
privilege.
that is what is Deepti for us. Thank you, Deepti, so much for that.
Thank you. Pleasure.
So On this note, next week, be ready. And remember one thing, networking begins because you're ready to spend 5 minutes with a person and give 100% attention to that, not to anything else. That is the key for networking, which I learned from BNI under the guidance of Deepti Atul Goswami. Implement karo, ab jeeto Bharat ka dil. Let's support each other. We are not 140 crore population. We are 140 crore support system. And if we keep doing that day in and day out, every day of our lives, mountains are going to crack and shields are going to shatter and ways are going to be built. हम एक दूसरे को आगे नहीं बढ़ाएंगे तो कोई नहीं बढ़ाएगा. Let's become a greater nation than where we are. We are doing so amazing in the past few years. Let's rise further. एक दूसरे को support करो और जीतो भारत का दिल. And next week, again back with another great personality on the Great Indian Brand Show with Sudarshan R Chetlur. Signing off. See you.
It's rocket launching day. Right on, it's time to play. All set, ready to go. Far away to the show. Dressed up in silver suit, climbing up the gravity shoes. Buckled up to my seat, baby, I can feel my heart.